Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, here is the Marx Army train. I just got it finished. Went up and got some new paint that is very, very close to OD green. Still not perfect, but a lot better than the green paint that I used yesterday. And I just want to do a follow-up video. And if I were to repaint the chassis of these cars as well, this would look virtually new. So it's a Marx 400, of course. It has a 999 motor in it. I've done a lot of modification to put that motor in there. And then a tin litho wedge tender. And I added a gondola. This has been in the parts box for, I don't know, probably 6 months. It was really been out of shape. And it was bright yellow. And now that it's painted, it actually doesn't look too bad, but it was in fairly decent, or a fairly poor condition. And you can see it's still somewhat tweaked as far as edge to edge. This thing was pretty badly munched. Anyway, and then this, of course, was an oil tender, but it could be a box car, it could be anything you want it to be. And this thing was trashed, and it actually looks pretty good now. And then, of course, the caboose. Now, this has been in the parts box for a year, probably, and this was eaten alive with rust. It was too rusty to even run. It's just been sitting in there all this time. And then when I painted it, it covered up most of the damage. And of course, it's got now 6 coats of different paint on it. And so it actually doesn't look too bad. And this is a very, very flat, non-reflective paint. In fact, in the video, it looks more gray than green. But from a distance, trust me, this is very close to OD green. So it's up and running. I'll probably leave it this way for a couple days, just in case I repaint it again. But it's running well. It looks nice. It runs really well. All old original Marx cars, of course. And I'll order some water slide decals for the U.S. Army logo and the star, of course, the white star. And once the decals are on this, it's going to actually look quite authentic, I think. This is just made from junk, just stuff that was in the parts box, most of it too rusty or too smashed or been out of shape to use. And when I started this project, I thought I'd try to make use of the very worst stuff I had. For example, this caboose. This was just in terrible condition. And as you can see, it's this flat paint hides all of the damage, and this actually doesn't look too bad. Like I said, if I were to repaint the chassis, this would look almost new. So it's far from perfect, but the nice thing about it, it was easy to do and it was free. I spent more on paint than I have on the actual cars themselves, I think. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on this. It runs really well. The 400 locomotive has the 999 motor in it, so it's very unique. It looks nice, it runs nice. Once I get the decals on it, like I said, this is going to look quite authentic, I think. More than good enough for now, and it gave me a really good use for those cars that were just literally trashed. I didn't think, actually, that caboose, I didn't think I'd ever be running it for anything. And yet, here it is, and once it's painted, it doesn't look too bad at all. So is it perfect? Nope, it's not. It's made out of junk. But the neat thing about it is you have a locomotive with a 999 motor in it, and the cars actually don't look too bad. One uniform color, really, really flat OD green color. So I'm happy with it. More than good enough for now. Anyway, I just wanted to do a follow-up video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.